Welcome back to the Secrets of Saturday Morning Cartoons. Today we're diving into the enchanting world of the Smurfs. These tiny blue characters didn't just dominate Saturday mornings. They became a global phenomenon, sparking a massive merchandising empire and capturing the hearts of fans worldwide. But where did they come from? And how did they become one of the most beloved cartoons of all time? We're going to explore their origins, their most iconic characters, and even some of the surprising theories about their hidden meanings. Ready to Smurf this? Let's get started. The Smurfs weren't just plucked from the ether. They came from the brilliant mind of a Belgian cartoonist named Pierre Colleford, better known by his pen name Peyo. Born on June 25, 1928 in Brussels, Belgium, Peyo grew up in a world of stories. As a child, he was fascinated by fairy tales, medieval legends, and the growing European comic scene. This passion for storytelling and illustration would shape his career and eventually create one of the most iconic animated franchises in history. He began working as a movie poster artist and an illustrator to make ends meet, honing the skills that would later define his style. The Smurfs first appeared in 1958, but not as the stars we know today. They were side characters in The Flute with Six Holes, a story in Peyo's Johann and Peewit series. These tiny blue creatures lived in a hidden village deep within the woods, speaking in their own playful language and helping Johann and Peewit on their quest. Readers were immediately charmed by their humor and whimsy. Peyo realized he had stumbled upon something magical. The Smurfs quickly stole the spotlight from Johann and Peewit, and by 1959 they had their own standalone comic series. The word Schtroumpf, the Smurfs' original name in French, came from a playful dinner conversation. Peyo couldn't think of the word for salt, so he said, "Pass me the Schtroumpf." That quirky exchange became the foundation for their whimsical language and their identity. The Smurf village is more than just the Smurfs' home, it's the heart of their world. Nestled deep in an enchanted forest, the village is hidden from humans and serves as a symbol of cooperation and harmony. Each Smurf has a role to play, from Farmer Smurf tending the fields to Handy Smurf building and repairing their iconic mushroom houses. The village itself is a reflection of Peyo's ideal society, one built on teamwork, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. But it's not just a utopia, it's also a fortress, protecting the Smurfs from the ever-present threat of Gargamel, the bumbling yet persistent wizard who wants to capture them for his own nefarious schemes. And at the center of it all is Papa Smurf, the wise and kind leader who keeps the Smurfs safe and teaches them valuable lessons. We'll get to him and some of the legendary actors who brought him to life next. Every village needs a leader, and for the Smurfs, that leader is Papa Smurf. As the eldest and wisest Smurf, Papa Smurf isn't just their guide, he's their protector and father figure. At 542 years old, his signature red outfit and white beard set him apart from the rest of the Smurfs, symbolizing his authority and wisdom. Behind this beloved character is the voice of Don Messick, one of the greatest voice actors of all time. Known for voicing iconic characters like Scooby-Doo, Boo-Boo Bear, and Ranger Smith, Messick had an extraordinary range that made him perfect for Papa Smurf. Now let's talk about Smurfette, the first and for many years the only female Smurf. Smurfette is one of the most iconic characters in the franchise. But did you know she wasn't originally a member of the Smurf village? She was created by Gargamel as part of a sinister plan to infiltrate and destroy the Smurfs from within. Smurfette's original design featured black hair and her personality was intentionally disruptive. But when Papa Smurf used his alchemy to free her from Gargamel's control, Smurfette transformed, inside and out. Her hair turned blonde and she became a kind, caring, and integral member of the Smurf village. Smurfette's iconic voice came from Lucille Bliss, a pioneer in the field of voice acting. Bliss, often referred to as the First Lady of Animation, was already a legend by the time she took on the role. She had voiced Anastasia Tremaine in Disney's Cinderella and was the original voice of Crusader Rabbit, the first animated TV character. Bliss's sweet yet sassy delivery brought Smurfette to life, making her one of the most memorable characters in the series. Her voice work added depth and personality to Smurfette's transformation, ensuring she wasn't just a token character but a vital part of the Smurf family. And of course, every great story needs a great villain. For the Smurfs, that villain is Gargamel, the bumbling yet persistent wizard who is obsessed with capturing the Smurfs. Gargamel was voiced by Paul Winchell, another animation legend. Winchell was best known for his role as Tigger in Disney's Winnie the Pooh series, but his performance as Gargamel showed a completely different side of his talent. Winchell's ability to balance Gargamel's villainy with humor made him one of the most memorable parts of the show. Fun fact, Winchell wasn't just a voice actor. He was also an inventor with over 30 patents, including an early prototype for an artificial heart. The Smurfs debuted on September 12, 1981, and quickly became a phenomenon. It was an immediate rating success, attracting millions of viewers every Saturday morning. Parents loved its wholesome educational themes, while kids couldn't get enough of the lovable blue characters and their adventures. By 1983, The Smurfs was the highest-rated children's show in the United States. The series ran for 9 seasons, producing a whopping 256 episodes, and became the cornerstone of NBC's Saturday morning lineup. Its combination of humor, heart, and engaging stories made it an unstoppable force in children's television. But the Smurfs didn't just take over television. They became a global merchandising powerhouse. By the mid-1980s, Smurf products were everywhere. From toys and clothing to lunchboxes and toothpaste, there was no escaping the Smurf craze. Here's a staggering fact. Between 1981 and 1985, Smurf-related merchandise generated over $4 billion in revenue worldwide. That's more than $12 billion in today's money. It wasn't just about selling toys. It was about creating an entire lifestyle centered around these blue characters. While the Smurfs dominated Saturday mornings for nearly a decade, all good things must come to an end. By the late 1980s, Saturday morning cartoons were facing a new challenge: the rise of 24/7 cable networks like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. These channels offered nonstop cartoon programming, drawing young audiences away from traditional network TV. In addition to the competition from cable, new FCC regulations required broadcast networks to air educational programming, further cutting into the time slots that had once been reserved for animated series like The Smurfs. By 1989, The Smurfs had ended its 9-season run, and Saturday morning cartoons as a whole began to decline. But while Saturday morning cartoons faded, The Smurfs' legacy lived on. Their popularity led to movies, reboots, and continued merchandising, ensuring that these little blue characters would remain part of pop culture. The Smurfs have been embraced by audiences in nearly every corner of the globe. Their adventures have been translated into over 30 languages, and the show aired in more than 100 countries during its peak. In some places, the Smurfs became cultural icons. In France and Germany, Smurf figurines were practically a rite of passage for kids in the 1980s. And in Japan, the Smurfs inspired a wave of merchandise and themed events that introduced them to an entirely new audience. Over the years, they've been parodied, referenced, and celebrated in countless TV shows, movies, and even music. Shows like The Simpsons and Robot Chicken have poked fun at the Smurfs, while celebrities have expressed their love for the little blue characters in interviews and appearances. Remember the Smurf song? La 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 la. Originally released in Dutch in the 1970s, it became an international hit and introduced the Smurfs to audiences through music long before their TV debut in the US. As we've seen, the Smurfs is more than just a cartoon. It's a story of creativity, perseverance, and connection. From their humble beginnings as side characters in Peyo's comics to their rise as global icons, the Smurfs have touched the lives of millions. They've taught us lessons about kindness, teamwork, and the importance of looking out for one another. Whether you're rediscovering them or introducing them to a new generation, the Smurfs have something timeless to offer. Thanks to the imagination of Peyo, the magic of Hanna-Barbera, and the talents of so many incredible voice actors, the Smurfs have become a cherished part of animation history. They're a reminder that the joy of Saturday morning cartoons brought to our lives and how a simple idea can create something truly extraordinary. That's it for this episode of Secrets of Saturday Morning Cartoons. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of the Smurfs. Until next time, keep celebrating the stories that bring us together, and as the Smurfs might say, keep smurfing on. See you next Saturday.